Hey guys, Huzzy, bringing you another commentary, this time playing Shyvana top lane, one of my favourite champions in the game. Now we start the game a little bit of a minute in because it is a long game, so I don't want to make the commentary too long. The enemy are going for an invade, but we'll see if they manage to pick something up. Vel'Koz is the support, he's actually a pretty decent one, I think he will. Yep, missed the hook. Quite heavily invested in spells here by the enemy team. They take W on Ziggs, W on Caitlyn for the trap, and Vel'Koz manages to survive. He takes the trap and then decides to go back and buy. Smart play by him. But yeah, I literally just played this game. This game is fresh in my mind. I finished the game, had a little bit of a break, and I was like, right, that actually would be a really good commentary game. There are many ups, there's many downs, and it can kind of show you different things that we'll be talking about in this game. So I'll make a commentary of it. So it is a long one. It is 45 minutes the game length, but I will be speeding up where possible, as of right now. But just to kind of mention what I'm doing on Shyvana. I'm learning Shyvana quite a lot. She is one of the best top laners in the game right now. If you watch any OGN, which is the Korean version of LCS, she is basically the top 3, I'd say, top laners. Every single game, I think I watched OGN about 2-3 days ago, and I watched about 4 matches, and every single match had a Renekton versus Shyvana in that top match. Now, a lot of the time it is lane trading, role swapping, etc., but the fact is, Shyvana is always picked and Renekton's always picked, and they're actually becoming two. Well, Renekton's my most played top laner and one of my favourites, but it's also going quite well in my Shyvana respect. Now we're going to slow down the game just a little bit, not focusing on me. We're going to focus on this Lee Sin and Elise. Now he has invested a lot of time in waiting for this Elise on red buff. She didn't even go straight from her blue or wolves. She went to wraiths first. So anyway, Lee is going on for a flash. Elise makes a mistake of flashing before Lee Sin finished the Q. If she waited for the Q then flashed, then she may have got out. Who knows? So Lee Sin picks up himself a nice red buff with the Elise kill. Now, a smart thing from what Elise actually did. Yes, she died. Bad play by her. But she smited and got the red buff before she died. Now, what does that mean? It means Lee Sin does not get double XP that he normally would have. If the red buff stayed alive when Elise died, he would have got XP for the kill onto Elise, and then he would have got solo XP onto the red buff, instead of Elise did get XP for it, which is quite a smart play. So this top lane, how does it really work? How does this matchup go? Well, Aurelia, honestly, I think she's an underdog in the top lane right now. If you're a good Aurelia, I think you'll do quite well in the current meta. She is a tank killer, while meanwhile in bot lane they are getting a few kills. I think there's a bit of a trade, but Twitch should pick up that kill. Big damage by the tower, but yeah, he manages to survive. But yeah, she is a tank killer. Blade of the Ruined King on Aurelia is an awesome item with Triforce, etc. She can rip through tanks. So theoretically, she will be very good in the current meta versus Renekton versus Shyvana. Trundle, she may have a bit of a harder time with, but I think she can do well. Now, I do decide to go for an early base to get myself a Doran's Blade, and that is the only damage item I will get for the next half an hour or so. That is the build that I'm going to be following, and it's a build that I love doing. Now, this build I would recommend people following unless you're against a Trundle. A Trundle will steal the resistances if you build any, therefore build damage early. That's kind of how it works against a Trundle, but against an Aurelia and their whole team, I'm going to go pure tank. Literally just pure tank. They're not going to kill me. I'll laugh if they try. So we'll see how that plays out. Again, I'm going to speed up the game. Just in the CSing type of thing. Now, I'm looking at my other screen now, so I'm not really looking at what's happening on this screen on my right. Who's played what champion the most times? And that's one thing I will say LoL Nexus does well. Who plays that champion, who does this champion, etc. Now, one thing to note, this Ziggs mains Ziggs, and there is a kill onto the Nidalee. There was a bit of a trade, but Ziggs earlier actually picked up a solo kill onto the Nidalee. Now, why would that be a thing? Now, in lane phase, Nidalee actually has a hard time versus Ziggs, that's apparent. But the thing that really tipped over the scale, Nidalee didn't take any resistances at all into her runes. 0. She went something like 30 AP or 33 AP and magic pen. No armor, no magic resist. That is, in my opinion, idiotic, especially against a Ziggs, who is one of the best AP mages in the game with just his spells and auto attacks. So yeah, that's a bit silly by her. I'm going to slow down the game just to talk about a few things. CS-wise, now CS is a very important thing, especially in top lane. Not many kills often happen in top lane. Majority of the gold you'll be getting while another kill goes down on the Ziggs solo with Nidalee. But the majority of the gold you'll be getting in top lane situation normally is your CS. And if you go behind of your top lane opponent, you're actually going to have a very hard time trading with them, CSing with them, etc. So if you're a top laner, or any lane really, don't underestimate the power of CSing. You know, my friend Jeebers, many of you may be aware of him, he did his first rank game the other day with his current account in Season 4, and he was 100 CS up on his lane opponent. And that is about silver level. He knows the power of CS. You know, he watches LCS with us. He talks to me and Gals, another one of my friends, on a regular basis. He knows what's important in games, and he focused on it. Over 100 CS lead to his own lane opponent just made it such an easy game for him. He went legendary, and that was basically snowballing from the laning phase that he was just CSing, whereas lane opponent wasn't focusing on it at all. Now, just to kind of note, this Lee Sin is having a good game so far. Unfortunately, he kicks the Ziggs. If he kicked the Elise there, she would have died, but he kicks the wrong one. I think it was the only one in range, so he may be a bit of a panic kick, but he does go down. Now, the whole point in this game right now is their Ziggs is miles ahead of our Nidalee. If we look actually into the gold tab just to kind of show, Ziggs has 3,700 gold. Our Nidalee has 2,100. That's a really low amount compared to a lane opponent. You can see the rest of the game is relatively even. You know, our bot lane Twitch is actually quite ahead of the Caitlyn. Me and top lane, we're only 100 gold apart. And it's just how it kind of works. I still actually don't know how we're 100 gold apart, because I'm ahead in CS. But oh well, that's the thing apparently. But yeah, just don't underestimate the value of CS. It's very, very important. And one thing I have to say now, when I was a mid laner, now is probably about a year ago now that I mained mid, I was terrible at CSing. It was the worst part of my game. You know, I was a very good person at killing someone in lane. I was very good at roaming, but CSing was my thing I was bad at. But now I've been in the jungle and come back to a lane, obviously now maining top lane more or less, I found my CS is actually really good. I found that in a game, I don't look at my CS for ages. I'm at the end of the game and bam, I'm at 300 CS. I'm like, oh, when did that happen? It's just something that I'm kind of getting used to. And if you make it in your head that it's like breathing. You don't think about breathing. If you don't think about CSing and just do it, you'll find your games, you know, be a lot easier. So anyway, my item build of choice, Ninja Tabby, is one of the best items on Shyvana in the game. Now, yes, don't underestimate tenacity. If you're against an AP top, then I recommend taking the Mercury Treads. But against an auto attacker like Aurelia, Mercury Treads is a fantastic item. Mercury Treads 1 reduces auto attacks by 10%. That's 10% of damage from the AD carry, even the Ziggs, etc. While Ziggs was looking for a steal, I kind of knew he was going over there, so I just cover the buff while you know, it's going on. But another thing is the speed. Shyvana is a tank, gives you armor, and she's a speedy Gonzalez. She wants to run very, very quick. Therefore, having that speed will be a big boost. So anyway, me and Lee Sin at this point are communicating, can we 2v2? And yes, we do decide to go for it. Go for the little kill onto the Elise. She fails her flash. Ziggs, though, makes the difference. We do pick up, I think, the kill. Yes, we do. Onto the Elise, and I will try to make my way out. But at this point, it's unfortunate that they had the Ziggs in this game. That big bomb literally wrecked this Lee Sin. Half of his health just disappeared. Well, as you can see again, Nidalee's walking into mines and nearly dying. I don't think she goes down. Bam, the heal just gets him up. But I probably would think either my top tower is going to go very low from this push, or my top tower is going to be no more, which is really unfortunate. But they do, after all, have a 4-0 Ziggs. That has been 3 of them from the Nidalee, of course. And then that one greedy Lee Sin play over here. So right now the game's not looking fantastic. You know, Ziggs is one of my main, is probably my main AP carrier right now. If I have to play mid, I'll play Ziggs. And I have carried solo queue games by myself on Ziggs. It's very easy to do. You can literally blow up anybody you want and win the game. So I'm thinking at this point, right, we can still win it. Obviously, every game's winnable. But that's the problem. Ziggs has the potential to carry by himself. So I'm kind of got that in the back of my mind, thinking I have to do really well in this game to try and stop that. And in bot lane, there is a little bit of a dragon fight going on now. The reason why this is a really bad idea is, again, the Ziggs. See, maybe the Nidalee isn't very comfortable. She's played 11 games on Nidalee compared to the Ziggs' 122. So yes, there is probably a bit of a skill difference in the mid lane, even though they are the same rating. There is a big skill difference. Anyway, meanwhile, in top lane, I am pushing, but Aurelia will just come back. She has actually opted for TP, but it is down. But anyway, as I was saying, this fight was a bad idea, simply because of the mid laners. Now, I'm not going to pin everything on the Nidalee. She obviously hasn't played it well anyway, and we already know that. But to this point in the game, we really want to do damage control. We don't want to give them any more kills than they have to have. We don't want to give them the dragon. They weren't going to do dragon then, but we forced their hand, and now they have a free one. If their Ziggs is that fed. Do not fight them for objectives. Ziggs is one of the strongest APs in the game with fighting objectives. You don't do a Baron against the Ziggs. You don't do Dragon. You don't do a small little team fight in the jungle against the fed Ziggs. Is that good of champion? So in top lane, build furthering into my tanky state. I have now opted for a giant spell onto Shyvana, which eventually will be building into that Sunfire Cape. Really nice tanky item on her, just helps her split push, which is, basically what you want to do as a Shyvana. You want to split push enough to force somebody top lane and then run to your team as you are quite fast. Now, Aurelia has realised this, and that's why Aurelia actually took Teleport. Now, Teleport is a great item, and I would probably say she's been influenced by Wicked taking that TP. He is someone known for taking TP in lanes that he may have actually got kills if he took Ignite. But late game, Teleport has to be pretty much, apart from Flash, the best summoner spell in the game. TP can force someone go in one area of the map, get somebody there, and then TP away and help your team. It is such a good summoner spell. And if it weren't that I wanted to kill this Aurelia late game or kill their carries late game, I probably would have taken it myself. Now, there's a bit of a laughing competition. Not sure if you can really hear that, but Aurelia was spamming her emotes every now and then, which I find quite annoying. If it does get a bit too much, as a little tip, I believe if you do /ignore, then the player name, not just a little button. If you do /ignore the player name, it actually mutes their emotes as well, which is quite a handy thing to know. So anyway, Ziggs is actually getting further fed. He's now 5-1-3, and Twitch has to be careful. Lee Sin does a quite nice inset kick, but I'm not sure if he will go down. We will see, we'll see. Nothing's happening top lane. Lovely Q, and he does actually go down. So really well played to Lee Sin. I have to give it to this Lee. He played well. Also, nice spear by Nelly. She does pick up a kill for herself. Top lane, I am actually furthering my gold lead. It is actually starting to show a little bit of a difference, even though there is about 6 minions here. And if she were to get all 6, she'd be on like 111. Which, is catching, but I am slightly ahead, as well as this top tower. So I'm going to get the tower, and then go pure aggressive onto this Aurelia. Just testing my damage. I go pretty balls deep on her, but then think, right, I'm in the middle of minions, I'd better just back out. If I were standing mano-a-mano, one-on-one with this Aurelia, without minions, it would be very close who kills who. I'm not going to really say who would kill who. If I had to say someone, I'd probably say Aurelia in a one-on-one with no minions influence. Probably will take it right now. But that's all about to change, because, hey presto, there's my Sunfire Cape. This gives me even more tankiness, and yes, Aurelia does do true damage if she activates a W, even more true damage, but it's not that much. It's like, let's actually look how much it is. I always forget I can check. She can do Aurelia's basic attack deals 75 true damage and doubles health restored for 6 seconds. So she does 75 damage, so the rest of the auto attack is just a normal auto attack that I will be mitigating with my armor. Now again, they are looking for a team fight, and I'm still confused. Some things your team do occasionally you get confused about. Twitch is not in a very good position. He's basically just standing, hugging the enemy Ziggs. But he is going to get a few auto attacks. But again, they're fighting in the enemy's terms right now. They're fighting with a very fed Ziggs. Now, Twitch ult is coming down, so they actually may pick up the kill. They do. So that is actually good. That was a misplay by the enemy Ziggs there. And Vel'Koz ult comes down, but they don't pick it up. I do like the champion Vel'Koz, if you're wondering. He's unique, and I think we may see him more as a support than anything, but a very niche support. Like a Karma was always used to be frowned upon as a support, but now she's one of the best supports in the game. Same goes with Annie. These type of things do happen, and I think Vel'Koz may fit into that. As well as the new Gragas, I thought I'd mention. The new Gragas, I think, has the potential to be a support as well as a top laner. I don't think he's going to be a mid anymore with the new changes. I think he's either going to be a top laner or he's going to be a support. So I get the red buff steal, and I'm just going to make my way out. Now, here's the point that goes wrong for me at this part of the game. We decide to turn. Lee Sin was spamming, go in, as well as Nidalee was in the area, but then a Thresh shows up, and then a Ziggs shows up. So this really quickly becomes a bad situation for us. Bot lane this game, they did quite well, 2v2, but the thing our bot lane did quite poorly this game is they didn't actually do anything when they were 2v1, or they didn't do much. So right now, these guys are 2v1. Caitlyn's by herself, and they're 2v1. Twitch is just farming, not putting any pressure onto the Caitlyn, where the Caitlyn was, the Vel'Koz was really trying hard to fight her, because the Vel'Koz knew that Thresh is up here. In the end of the day, they were purely outnumbered, and the Vel'Koz had the right idea, but it seems as Twitch was just a bit too wimpy to do certain things. Now, unfortunately, they actually do get caught again further. Nidalee gets hooked and yes, goes down. Lee Sin does survive, which is good, but still, we do have to be careful. The Ziggs is getting further fed there. Now Elise is quite strong. The only thing we've got going for us this game is the Caitlyn isn't fed herself. If the Caitlyn was fed, then yes, we'd be in trouble. So I am pushing the wave. TP comes down onto the turret with a Relia close by, or as the TP target. Now, luckily in the bot lane, bam, they do pick up the Caitlyn. So finally they do something in that 2v1. Finally they manage to pick up a kill, which is good for us. Now, Dragon is up soon, and I think we know it's up soon. So we make pressure at Ziggs. May know I'm here, or he just did a random bomb, not really sure. I will just continue picking up the Wraith, and I think I do get it now. And I think we'll pressure the Dragon. So Ziggs is actually caught out right now. Really, really caught out. He's going very balls deep onto the Twitch, but he does just decide to back out with the Lantern. Now I just Dragon, try to be the front line for my team, which is actually working as of right now. I'm going to continue the little bit of a chase while Lee Sin goes and does the Dragon, because my damage, even though I'm pure tanky as tank Shyvana, is actually quite high. A lot of people underestimate what tank Shyvana can actually do. I throw the Ignite on the Ziggs just in case a Nidalee spear hits him. You know, unfortunately it doesn't, but if it did, that would have been a kill onto the Ziggs, or even if a spear hit the Elise, it would have been a kill as well. Pick up the Dragon, so that is a free Dragon, so again, that's quite nice. Looking at the gold in this game now, we actually are catching up. Now, this was really greedy by these two in this mid lane. They stayed around a wave when they knew we were doing Dragons, so ultimate greed, which actually does, I think, cause their life. Now, Ziggs does pick up still one kill. Now, here's a problem for us, this Aurelia. Both me and Lee Sin commit to chasing down this Caitlyn. Well, meanwhile, Aurelia just kills everything. So Aurelia picks up a double kill, so now she's 2-0-2. Lee Sin picks up the kill onto the Caitlyn. I actually get nothing, more or less, for that whole fight, which is a bit of a bummer for me, but still, it's you know, not all bad. And again, fighting the Aurelia one-on-one, we don't actually know that they're here. I think we're just about to find out, and hello, hey presto, there's 3 people. This Thresh has been top lane quite a bit in this game, considering that he is a bot lane support. He is chasing me down, does miss the hook because my speed's too quick. And Lee Sin does go down to the Elise. I hit a trap, unfortunately, but they won't be able to catch me at this point. You know, I'm a bit too speedy. I can turn the W on if they want to use the hook on me. But yeah, let's continue furthering the build. This Ruby Crystal will be eventually building into a Spirit Visage, I would believe, or even a Banshees. I think I actually may go into a Banshees. Because Banshees is actually, if you watch any OGN, Banshees is actually known as the most OP item in the game. As a lot of what happens teamfight-wise or anything like that, one spell starts the fight. Either it's a stun, a hook, something like that starts the fight. And if you have an item that can negate that one spell, that's why a lot of people take it. That's why people, you know, think of it so good. Now, Relia, I knew she was in the area, but I didn't actually know she was in that bush. So unfortunately, our paths cross. She does manage to go back and buy. But I will just continue to farm the top lane. So if you look into the CS, into this game, my CS, although a little bit lower than Aurelia's at this point, I've been roaming a little bit more with my team, and Aurelia stayed a bit top. She can stay top because she has that TP. She can stay around a little bit longer than I can, because if she TPs and I don't have Dragon Form to stop it, she's in that fight, and there's nothing I can do. So my team have to be very careful right now. They're getting a bit caught out, which is not a great situation for us. Nice damage by Vel'Koz, have to add. And I am working my way in just as a little bit of a flanking point. Seeing if I can get anything, but I just decide to get back out. Now, one thing again I'll say about this Twitch, he did a fairly good job in this game. I'm not gonna, you know, slam on him at all, but he was bot lane a lot in this game. Although he had to push the wave, there could have been times that he really easily could have been more with us. Now, we are going to look for a team fight here. Although we are very low, I blocked that Caitlyn ultimate. There comes flashes down. Now, here comes Twitchy Boy. Stealth Twitchy Boy. Here's the combo. Bam. Kill everything we can. So Twitch wrecks face, but he does go down to Aurelia. But this should still be an okay fight for us. So I managed to pick up 2 for myself. Lee Sin picks up that one, and we will eventually pick up the Aurelia. I'm not letting her get away, so I flash for the kill. So there is a double kill for me. This is going to be the starting point to Shyvana making a difference in this game. This is going to be Shyvana, you know, just jumping on everything. So I'm able to get a few kills there, which makes my score 3-1-3. My CS is actually the most in the game now by 1. But you'll see in this game, I'm actually going to further that as much as I can. I want to be the Rock, I always call it. You know, my Renekton game, that was the last commentary I did. I quoted it. I want to be the Rock. I want to be the someone that they literally have to use everything on to kill them. If not, I'm going to be annoying as hell. Now, they were looking for a little bit of a hook on me, but they don't manage to get it. I throw a ward in there, but it's going to get cleared out straight away, which is unfortunate. But I want it back. If you actually look into how much gold I have 2,200 gold just in my bank. Nidalee has 2,000. So if you look into comparisons now, I'm actually ahead of the Aurelia. Our Lee Sin is ahead of the Elise by quite a bit. Ziggs, although is still ahead, Nidalee has caught up a little bit. Bot lane, our Twitch is ahead of the Caitlyn, and our support is ahead of their Thresh. So this game is looking a bit better than it was. A lot better. This game was not looking good when a Ziggs was 4-0 and Elise was 4-1. You know, that would be a very hard game to kind of deal with. But at this point, a fed Lee Sin, a fed Shyvana, a very strong, or not very, a strong Twitch. He could be stronger. His CS isn't very good this game. But a strong Twitch, a average Nidalee. She could have been a lot stronger than what she currently is, but still, she is an okay strength at this point. So I'm going to go back top lane, just farm up a little bit. Now, Twitch has to be very careful. There is a teleporting Aurelia coming down. I think he knows about it at this point. I hope he would. But Aurelia is looking for a bit of blood. So I'm going to keep pushing to the top wave. So if Aurelia gets nothing for this teleport, then that's a really good situation for us. But I think she's about to just go completely ham on him. And goodbye, Twitch. You are dead. So, yeah, it's a bit of a trouble when Aurelia can just simply do that. This is why I still rate Aurelia as a champion. Now, although she got nothing in top lane, although the lane was very even for the majority of the time that we played the top lane matchup, she still has managed to do a bit of roaming, do a bit of farming elsewhere, which is not great for us. So I'm looking potentially for a kill or two here. We don't know Aurelia's here, but we do now. She's going very aggressive onto my Nidalee. I use my Dragon Form to try and help the Nidalee, but it isn't enough. So I'm going to go for as many kills as possible. Going to try and kill the Aurelia. Now you can see my damage is fairly high. I am pure tank Shyvana. No damage item. While Lee Sin is doing work over to the side. Going to continue going for the Caitlyn as much as we can. And I think she will go down. Now actually that was a very good Q by Lee Sin. I'm not good. Yeah, I would have liked the kill. But yeah, he deserved that one. He blind Q'd into that Caitlyn there. And very well played. So I'm going to roam into the bot lane. Next objective to me is this tower. This tower needs to go. This tower should not be up at 25 minutes in this game. So I do just decide to go bot lane, farm up a little bit. I think I'm about to take my crown again as the highest CS in the game. Maybe in a minute. I am tied, or now Ziggs has overtaken me. Oh, damn it. He has opted for going to the top lane. So me and Ziggs are having a bit of a competition here. Who's going to come out on top of CS into the later game. So I will just speed up the game. While, you know, there's a bit of a downtime. As mentioned, you know, this is quite a long one. It's 45 minutes. Now, we are over halfway. And the gold lead is now in our favour. Sorry about that little freeze. Bandicam is having a bit of trouble right now, if you are wondering. Now, I'm going to pause it. And here's where the strength of Shyvana comes. So, damage, 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 damage. And goodbye, Caitlyn. Now, you'll notice one thing. Twitch did nothing. No assist for Twitch. That was pure Shyvana without a damage item. That's the whole point I want to kind of make with Shyvana. You don't need a damage item on her. You will literally just kill stuff by being so tanky. The late game, Blade of the Ruined King, I'll say is very good. If you do want to just tip the scale. And I think in this game I do opt for it. But still, it's an optional one. You don't have to, but I'd say it's still good in the late game. Now, we have to be careful. Ziggs is absolutely obliterating this Nidalee. She had very poor positioning in this game. So this team fight may not go the best, way for us. Vel'Koz is about to get exploded by the Aurelia. I'm going to tank as much as I can, but honestly, there's only a limit I can tank. Twitch has moved into the fight, so he's going to do as best as he can. He's expunged now, but not enough. The shield from Thresh does come out, and that will be a poor team fight by us. So as you can see, even though we do have the gold lead, we are slipping up it every now and then, and that, unfortunately, I would say was Nidalee, with very poor positioning, getting chunked by the Ziggs straight away, which just gave Aurelia free kill. Free kill, free reset on her Q. I think she even finished him off with Q. And she was just able to go on a bit of a rampage there. So, this Nidalee's not having the best of the game, but hopefully she can kind of turn it around. I'm going to just continue farming to this top lane. Farm's over 200 now at the 27-minute mark, which isn't okay. It's a good goal to kind of have. Majority of players that, through the ranks, if you see, they don't get 200 by the end of the game. Where I'm going to try my best to just keep on CSing, keep on getting stronger. Now, the problem we're going to have is Ziggs in this game will hit the 6 item mark before anybody else. Ziggs will be very, very strong. He'll have his 6 items and be an absolute beefcake of tankiness and damage and everything. Now, I did say tankiness because a 6-item Ziggs will be actually quite tanky. He won't be squishy like a lot of other AP mages. He does have that Zhonya's already. He may get a health item somewhere. But I think soon we need Twitch to come up. Now, again, this is my point saying Twitch is still bot lane. Now, we're going for a team fight, and this is actually a 4v5, and we do opt for this. So me and Lee Sin are kind of caught out in the middle of all their CC. Vel'Koz's ult does come down, which is actually quite a nice ult. Now, Twitch has finally made his way here. It took a while, but you can see now that he's actually here, he's wrecking stuff. If he was here at the beginning of these team fights, we'd win this game really easily. So I'm going to just do a bit of damage to the Thresh, but I thought he may go down already. But Vel'Koz should pick up the kill. There we go. And that was an actual okay fight for us. Ziggs being as strong as he is, and Aurelia being as strong as she is, we actually came out even. Well, actually, we came out ahead, sorry. Yeah, we won that team fight. With 2 of us surviving, 4 of them dying. Yeah, we won. So that was an okay situation, and that's what we can kind of do. If I am a distraction for the enemy team while my Nidalee can throw spears, while my Twitch can just make his way to the fight as he's not really here, then we are looking quite strong. Now we have to be careful of that Ziggs damage. He actually does miss most of his spells, luckily, from the Vel'Koz. But that does lead a free red buff for me, hopefully. But they kind of know my antics now. I've already stolen it once, so Elise does move into the red buff area and does manage to take it away from me. Vel'Koz has to be careful. It's not really worth him dying for just a red buff. So I do decide to go back and buy. If we look how much gold I have, I've got only nearly 1,000, so it won't be that much. I won't be able to get a lot. But I do currently have the second most gold in the game. If we look at actually what I buy myself the home guard boots. So it will help me get to the lane phase a little, the lanes a little bit quicker. Now, if you look further into my build, obviously went for the Ninja Tabby first, the Sunfire Cape, the Randuins, the Banshees, and now we're going for the Thornmail, I believe. Thornmail it's only been an item that's been around, well, it's been around forever, but it's only been accepted as a proper item, like what you can build legitimately, probably in the past 3 months, potentially. And it's basically just due to the tank meta. You want to be as tanky as possible? Well, Thornmail gives you 100 armor. The most armor in one item in the game, so build Thornmail, it'll do you wonders. So we're going to look for another team fight here. Now, look at this corridor that they're all lined up for a beautiful Shyvana ult any second. So here we go. Managed to Shyvana ult right on top of them. Aurelia is TPing from the back. Twitch is over to my right, so he has to be fairly careful. But look what Aurelia is doing. She's killing our support. I don't mind an Aurelia focusing our support. I don't think anybody would. So we're going to continue going for this little bit of fight. Lee Sin is flanking. Unfortunately, he missed his Q. We're going to continue going for the fight. I just use my Randuins to slow them as much as possible. But look at the damage of Aurelia. She absolutely obliterated that Twitch. I managed to pick up the kill for myself. Lee Sin goes way too ham to try and get one of these kills, so he actually does go down. Don't think Nidalee will get anything for it, as I just decide to push mid up, because we're not going to really get them, or I wouldn't have got there in time. So I just go mid and continuing a little bit of farming while Nidalee looks for a spear, but I don't think she'll actually get one. Now Ziggs has to be careful here. He's come straight from being low health, which could land him, straight as a spear in the face, but I'm not really sure that Nidalee will hit one. So Dragon is up. They do have a pink ward in here, and I don't know if I spot that out. That's probably how they're about to, because obviously this game was about half an hour ago. I do actually remember that. They and Elise will come over, and that's probably how they spotted me. That's probably how she knew, and that's probably how she knew that I was in this bush now. Now I'm laughing at her damage. She literally does 0 to me right now. Using my dragon form, going for the kill, seeing what I can do. Throw my ignite on her. She does flash, but I'm going to continue, and just purely go for the kill. I'm pure tank for Shyvana, but there's nothing they can do to me. They're not doing any damage. You can see Caitlyn is just tickling me as of right now, and it should be the kill. Bam, Vel'Koz gets it, but I'm a bit too deep now, so I will go down. Now Nidalee, I don't know why she's over here. She's completely by herself from anybody else, so she does go down to the Thresh. Actually picks up the kill. Now my team have to be very careful. This is not a good team fight. For us, Twitch, don't know what they're doing now. He knows, everybody knew he was there at that point because he hit a mine. It's a big giveaway in that respect. But Twitch probably should have just backed out there, but he didn't. So this game is not looking amazing for us. Caitlyn walks into a Lee Sin and a Vel'Koz, so nice kill by them. But I think the enemy will pick up the free dragon. They don't have smite, so Lee Sin may be looking for a steal. But honestly, if he looks at the steal, I think he'd just die. So the enemy just do pick it up nice and free for them. And hey presto, he's got it. And so Lee Sin has to be very careful of just simply dying here. And yeah, he fails one ward and then does the other. So luckily he gets out, but that could have been very, very close to him dying there. Vel'Koz has to be careful. His health, he's on 34 health from that bomb. So luckily he lives, calculated, as you probably said in chat. But if we look further into my build, as explained, the Thorn Mail is complete. So I'm now one item off completing my build. Now the next item in the list would probably be the Blade of the Ruined King. So I'm going to speed up the game till we get later it on. As you know, this game, it was a good game. You know, there were bad things that happened, many bad things. You know, mainly it was getting the Ziggs that fed, which in respect, we had to focus onto the Ziggs, so the Aurelia was left alone for quite a few team fights, and that let her get fed as well. But basically, in chat, all we have to do is kill the Ziggs, as simple as this sounds, kill the Ziggs, and then peel the Aurelia. We don't need to kill the Aurelia straight away, we simply need to peel her. Make sure that she doesn't do any damage to our carries. Now Lee Sin, again, is making a few plays, so again, he uses the flash, and he managed to pick up the kill by himself. Onto the Caitlyn, he was 2v1ing, so again, I will give credit to this Lee Sin. He played very, very well. Twitch is going very aggressive. Now, I knew Elise was going to fly that way, so I just decided to dive. You know, I'm tanky as hell, but Aurelia is in the back line, and she's probably going to murder everybody's face. So, unfortunately, Aurelia came at the right time, and that will be a team fight lost for us. Lee Sin shouldn't have tried to save me there, because that might have put his life in danger. Vel'Koz is actually in their base. Hook lands, and yeah, they will probably ace us, or nearly ace us. Vel'Koz does base in the middle of their base. So that was due to us overcommitting for the dive and leaving Aurelia alone. And that's another problem we had. We didn't actually have anybody to really peel for our carries. If you look into our team comp, we have a very good dive comp. We have a Lee Sin, we have a Shyvana, we have a Twitch at the backline, Nidalee poking at the backline, as well as Vel'Koz at the backline. But we don't have anybody to stop them jumping on us. You know, Shyvana can do it, but that is really not optimizing Shyvana at all. You want to dive onto their squishy targets and kill their squishy targets, or force them at least to kind of just focus you. You put their damage on you as the tank, though you probably won't go down. So I do decide to buy my Vampiric Scepter, which will be eventually building into that blade as explained. Now the enemy team pinged the Baron there, and they know now there is a pink ward in this area. So Caitlyn does go over to clear it. Now she has to be fairly careful. She is in a compromised position. She goes into the middle of the Baron pit, and that spear barely misses. She starts the Baron, which is actually not a terrible play. It gives Nidalee a bit of damage. Don't know really what she's doing. She was actually starting the Baron, still taking damage. Aurelia TP's in, and I get rid of her Banshee straight away, but mine is gone as well. Lee Sin is making his way to the team fight. Now, I don't have my ultimate right now. Lee Sin has jumped onto the back line, so we're going to continue for this fight as well as we can. Vel'Koz ult comes down, and you can see that the Ziggs is actually not in this team fight, so this is going to go fairly well for us. Now, what I do, I start the Baron because I thought Caitlyn may just stay in the pit. Lee Sin just jumps straight on top of her, and that was actually a pretty nice kill. I've got my Dragon Form ult, so I'm going to do the best I can to try and just damage everybody. Now, I know I'm tanky, so I can tank a lot of this damage, but unfortunately, Q mine, or the mines from Ziggs manages to pick us up, and Ziggs survives on a slither of health. So again, an even team fight of 4 for 4. So that was a good and bad situation. They are stronger than us. They have two very strong people. They have a quite weak Caitlyn. Let's be honest. She is 21320. Now that is a lot. So actually, let's look into the gold. She has 13,000 gold overall. Our Twitch actually has 13,000 as well. So actually, they're even. But if we look into the Ziggs, he's 18,000 compared to our Nidalee's 13. And then the Aurelia has 15 compared to mine 14. So she's only 1,000 ahead of me. And then Lee Sin is 3,000 ahead of the Elise. So this is a close game, excuse me. But yeah, this is quite close. We have a very fed Lee Sin. We have a fairly strong Shyvana. You know, I'm doing quite well for myself. But they do have two strong people as well, which we have to be very careful of. But basically what we need to do is peel the Aurelia and let me dive on the backline. It's all well and good, Lee Sin doing what he's doing, but that's letting Aurelia kill everything. Now, Lee Sin is a much better peeler for Twitch than I am, because I physically can't really move Aurelia around. Once I use Dragon Form, I can't, stun her, I can't get her away. Where Lee Sin can slow her with his E. He can slow her with the Randuins, and he can kick her away if needed. So he has the better kit to deal with that than me. Now I am pushing the top wave a little bit, just to kind of give my team a little bit extra. Oh, that was close. A little bit of extra, just a little, wave pushing in our favour. With my Nidalee and my Vel'Koz have to be very, very careful. These two are in a compromised position. This, I don't think, is going to go very well for my Lee Sin. He has moved his way down, and he's completely stuck right now. Completely, just, I think, done for. He tries to escape. Very nice kick, I may add. Vel'Koz comes down, dragon form into the middle of them. I'm going to do as much damage as I possibly can. Nid Spear comes, but look at their health. Look how low they are. So I think we're going to try and chase them down, I would imagine. Very nice Scrying Orb by, I think, who has the Scrying Orb? Vel'Koz has the Scrying Orb, and there's some kills for us. So that overall was quite good. We're going to do the Baron, or we're going to start the Baron at least. This should be a free Baron. Now, a couple of things Nidalee has done as a mistake. Nidalee should not be over here. She should be helping the Baron, healing us when possible. But instead, she just basically goes and dies for free. And this will lead, Ziggs killing us. Or killing me, and Twitch being very low. Now, if Nidalee stayed on the Baron and just healed us, we probably would have picked that up. Spears flying out of the Baron pit with a ward over here would have been a lot more effective. Now, they are going fairly aggressive, this Ziggs, and Thresh. So they do have to be very careful. But I think they will be okay, considering everything. The Ziggs is 19-6-17. So yeah, he's doing work at the moment. Now, if we look into... there's not really much more to look into with my build. It's going to be a Blade of the Rune King. I'm going to be very tanky. The finishing build is Ninja Tabby, or Blade of the Rune King, Ninja Tabby, Thorn Mail, Sunfire Cape, Banshee's Veil, and a Randuin's Omen. It's very, very strong. So if we focus on other people in this game at this current time. The Vel'Koz build is very interesting. It does slow damage and a dot damage, so that is interesting. I haven't seen many support Vel'Kozes, but this one it does okay. And from memory and things that was said in chat, he actually takes a lot of mana regen in the the quints or the seals and the yellows. He takes a lot of mana regen apparently, just to keep up that pressure in lane phase. So I am running out of base. How close am I to my blade? Blade at this point with your cutlass costs 1800 and I nearly have 15, so I'm about 300 gold off getting it. Now that's me spam pinging this to kill this Ziggs. If we kill this guy, this is a big advantage for us. So we're going to try our best to kill him, but this is the power of Thresh. Completely zone my whole team, and hey presto, Ziggs manages to survive. So that should have been a kill. But I think Lee Sin missed his Q. If he hit the Q, that probably would have been a lot better. But yeah, I do have to be careful. I'm going to use my ultimate just to do as much damage as I possibly can. Going to go for the kill onto the Caitlyn. Me and Lee Sin, I think, have the same idea. Bam, she goes down. Free kill for us. And that will help us a little bit. So again, this Caitlyn goes down. And me and Lee Sin kind of both were on the same wavelength this game. Just take her out. She's that easy to take out. Just kill her straight away. Now, I think Twitch, from the sound of what he just made, he just used his ultimate. So it is coming back off cooldown. Hopefully soon, in about 50 seconds, give or take. So just under a minute. Yeah, we can't really siege at this point. Lee Sin wants to. Lee Sin's like, no, we can kill stuff. But we have to look at Nidalee's mana. She's got none. And I'm saying that in chat, saying there's no point. We have no siege, really, without a Nidalee. Now, that cocoon comes down, so I'm just going to move into the area and just go, nope, don't jump on him. If you jump on him, then you have me right next door. And that's basically what you do as a tank. You're basically a bouncer to a nightclub, saying, all right, you guys want to get in, but this is my nightclub. These are my teammates. You shall not pass. Be Gandalf, rather. So I'm going to continue to the top wave. CS-wise, Ziggs has won the battle. I salute you, Ziggs. You will win the battle in this game. But my top lane opponent, I am ahead of them. So at least I can take a little trophy away, saying that I won my CS game against my opponent. Now, the enemy are looking for Baron, or around Baron anyway. That is a friendly Scrying Orb, and that, it's a really good item. I highly recommend Scrying Orb in the later game. So I'm going to Dragon Ult over the wall, and this will completely split the enemy team. I'm standing in the middle. Caitlyn isn't even in the fight, so they will go very, very low. I pick up a kill on Thresh, so it's again, I think, support for support, even though Aurelia also is very, very low. So we can probably just back off, relax a bit, farm a little bit more for me, and then, just go for another team fight. Now, I am a scary dragon at this point. There's not much they can do to me. They actually pick up the Caitlyn for free again. This Caitlyn was not trolling. She has 21 assists for an AD carry. She has nearly the most assists in the game. I have 21. The Vel'Koz has 23. Imagine if she had, let's just say, 10 of them kills. She has then 11 assists then 10, or then 12 kills. She'd be very, very strong, just she hasn't managed to secure them kills for herself. So bam, I have finished my 6 items. I am done. This is my build for this game. I've even bought myself 2 potions. I've got the potion of, or the elixir of brilliance, and I've got the elixir of fortitude. I am completely 6 items. Don't need anything else. Now the Aurelia also is 6 items, but she's opted for a cheaper build than me. You know, my items are actually more expensive. Apart from, you know, her Triforce is an expensive item, but the Wit's End is not actually that expensive. So yeah, me and Shyvana in a toe-to-toe situation. I think now, if I actually had to fight a 1-on-1, I think I'd actually take it because of the Blade of the Ruined King. You know, that will give me the advantage because she hasn't built it. Now, I don't know why she hasn't built it, as Blade is a awesome item on Aurelia. Now, we are looking for a Baron. I'm not going to run into the pit. I'm going to let my team clear out the Baron and then move in, because then they don't know where I am. Then they don't think I'm doing it. But we're just going to wait for them. You do a Fnatic that they just wait over the wall. So I use my Dragon Form straight onto him, pick up a kill, and then me and Lee Sin have the same idea, going straight for the Zig. So we're going to try and kill him. There's my Blade of the Ruined King. Keep going for him, keep going for him. Lee's going to try and pick him up, and he will go down any second. Twitch does a one-on-one with the Caitlyn, and this is going to probably be the game fight. So hopefully you guys would have, you know, learnt a few things about Shyvana, in that you don't need to be damaged Shyvana to be a threat. And right now in chat, I'm saying to my team, wait for me, I'll tank it, and we can finish this game. So yeah, that's going to be the game. You know, we did fairly well. There were ups and downs. The enemy team had 2 very fed people, but still, you can do very well. So I'd say well done to the Lee Sin in this game. He did very good. And I played well myself, having nearly 300. And I think at this point, I realised, oh, I'm so close to 300 CS. And I think any second, I'm just going to start focusing, getting CS. So I'm attacking turret, attacking turret. Oh, I want 300 CS. Let's just quickly get it. And hey presto, there's exactly 300 to finish the game off. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this. This was Shyvana top lane. Goods and bads throughout this game, but overall a win. So anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.